Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today guys, we are going to be continuing our AFL 2022 big round reviews. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing round number 6 of the 2022 AFL season. Of course, Anzac Day. This round was massive in every single way you could possibly have. We'll just quickly go through the games. You guys can have a quick look at the results. We're going through the games one by one, of course, in the order of the games that were played. In the order of there's 2 same time games, of course. We just go in the order that they're put on. But yeah, it was a big round of footy. We learnt a lot. We had the traditional Anzac Day game. What a clash that one was. The Crows upset the Dogs, and the Power get their first win of the year. And there was so much more as well. Smashings and other close games. So spend about a minute on each game. Let's go ahead, get right into things. Giants, Saints. So, at Mardi Oval, the GWS Giants 8-12-60 were defeated by the Saints 10-17-77. Now, I did say this in the match reviews where I reviewed 3 games, and I said the Giants, they've got a problem with scoring. Their last few games have been 53, 54, and 60. And I feel like that does present a real problem. 53 against the Demons, 54 against the Dockers, and now 60 up against the Saints. And the Saints, they've scored really well, 142, 87, 77. Now, of course, they probably could have won this game by more because they were inaccurate, but they still get the scalp by 17 points. The Giants, they were never out of this contest, but the Saints were the better team. The Giants, they were probably better across the second term, but again, that staircase there just shut the game out, and the Saints go on to win by a pretty decent margin. There are some of the stat leaders for the game, but the Saints that they are really good. They are 5-1, and they are a really good chance. The Giants, they are 1-5. Adelaide could be a problem for them as well, but yeah, the Giants, they just haven't been looking great. The Saints, they have. So now it is time to talk about Adelaide, actually. Western Bulldogs 9-8-62 were defeated by the Adelaide Crows 8-15-63 at Mars Stadium. The Crows get a win, which is definitely out of this world. 8-15-63. Again, it's not the most accurate, but they still win even with the amount of behinds. The traditional match-winning point, they win by 1 point. The Crows, they wanted a scrappy game, and that is exactly what they got, and they won. That is how good they were. That is how fantastic they were. They won by 1 point. And, I mean, you could say both teams weren't even fantastic in a way. But, yeah, the Dogs, they had their stars as well. But, yeah, this was a really interesting contest. You could see it was always close. Both teams were always within striking distance. The Crows actually led this contest for more than what the Dogs did. And the Dogs, they never really had a clear lead either. Probably just a goal. This was their lead, and the Crows had a 2-goal lead. But it was really close, hard-fought, scrappy. Walker gets his 500 goals. But, yeah, it was a really exciting game. Really back-and-forth contest. And the Crows pull off a massive upset. And now Port are back to the form they were in last year, winning 18-9, 117 to 49-33. Port Adelaide by 84. And West Coast, their consistent trend, they have not been able to score well lately. Their scores haven't been great. They have been unable to score. Now, yes, you could argue the fact that they've still got plenty of players out due to COVID injury, but still, though, they still do have half a team, or about half a team or something like that. Maybe more. And they're just not tracking all right. And quarter time, 8 apiece. So the Power, they put on 109 in 3 quarters of footy. So that is fantastic. Look at that. They just piled them on the end. West Coast were never a chance. Half-time was basically all over. They had 1 goal at 3-quarter time. It was just a really boring game to watch. And the Eagles are just not going well. The Power, they are back this year, and they could be in with a chance. If they play like this every week, wow, watch out. They could be a lot better than what we all thought. And look, they haven't had the best start, we all know that, but they're coming back. They are coming back, and that first win was a nice one. So now we are at the Saturday night game. Fremantle 14-13-97 defeat the Blues 9-8-62. Now, there's 2 things I want to talk about. One for one team, one for the other. The Blues, they haven't been able to play 4 quarters of footy, at least lately anyway. They just get stuck after one stage, and in this game they did, but still putting 62-98 on the board is not great. Now, again, they haven't against the Power, they were up by 50 points and played half footy, and that was it. And then they literally left, and the Power almost came back to win. And this game, they just didn't do anything after half time, really. Yes, they did still double their goals, basically, but the Dockers, they were just too good by then and had basically a 40-point lead, 34 at three-quarter time or something like that. And the Dockers, it has been a trend in the past few weeks where they just get this time where they're just off. And the second quarter was when they just lifted off and they said goodbye to the Blues. And basically after that, the Blues didn't show any sign of coming back. There was another mini staircase up there. And then again, another one at the end. And the Dockers, they've had a big staircase in their last few games against the Giants and the Bombers, where they've really lifted off and just really taken a win from what could have been a 10-point win to a 30-point win or more, which is fantastic. And the Dockers, they've been looking really good. Watch out. Here come the Dockers. They are 5-1, and the Blues, they got a little bit of trouble to work on, but again, this definitely wasn't their best game. But they'll definitely bounce back. They got the Roos, so yeah, they should bounce back. Now, the Roos v the Cats, North Melbourne 9-7-61 were defeated by Geelong 17-19, 121. The Cats could have won this game by more. They take it out by 60 points in the end. And the Roos, they just haven't had a great year this year. We didn't really expect to have a massive rise on the ladder for North Melbourne. They haven't been great over the past few years. And again, probably another year on the bottom or somewhere around there for them. Definitely not out of the bottom four. I'd say probably bottom two for North Melbourne. They just haven't been the greatest this year. They kept the game in their terms on the first quarter. They competed, they tried, but second term, the Cats were just too strong. Third quarter was where game was pretty much over. No one really thought North could win this game. What an upset it would have been had it happened. But the Cats, you got Jeremy Cameron's, Tom Hawkins, way too strong. In the middle, you got Dangerfield, Duncan, just way too strong of a unit. And then Tui, Stewart, all them guys. They got a brilliant team, the Cats. There's some stat leaders, but yeah, it's just a brilliant game for the Cats. They've just been looking good this year. They're a real good team, the Cats. They've got brilliant players, as I've said. And North Melbourne, they're a younger group trying to find their way. It's not going the best right now, but look, they'll get there in the future. They're just not having a great time right now. Now, for the Suns and the Lions, Gold Coast 11-14-80 were defeated by Brisbane 21-6, 132. So Brisbane, they're looking like one of the best teams in the competition. Melbourne are by far, you could probably say the best. And Brisbane, they are definitely up there as well. Their group is fantastic. They've got a fantastic group. Gold Coast, they've really competed this year in some games against Melbourne. Carlton, they defeated them. So they've been pretty decent as well this year. The Suns, they did fight, but again, they just weren't good enough in this contest. Bailey kicks 6 goals. We'll go to the stat leaders. I did forget that for Freo Carlton. Sorry about that. But there's some stat leaders for the game. You can see the worm, though. It was an even first quarter. The Suns, they tried, but yeah, they just couldn't do enough to hang on, and the Lions ended up winning this one quite convincingly. They were extremely accurate. The Suns, they were a little bit more inaccurate. They could have made a little bit more of a game of it at half time had they been a little bit more accurate. But yeah, the Lions, they were just way too strong. They're looking really good. Definitely top 4 team. They could really have a crack at the flag this year as well, the Lions. Just like Sydney, Geelong, and Melbourne will as well. Power, they could still have crack. Any team could. The Saints, Dockers, who knows? But yeah, it is. The Lions, they are definitely a real team that's right up there for one of the best teams in the competition right now. And their list, they're doing well. They've got multiple forwards to do it. And the Suns, again, they're a list that's trying to establish themselves. So, Richmond at the MCG, this is, of course, the Anzac Day Eve game. Richmond 8-6-54 lose to Melbourne 9-22. 9-22-76. Now, this was not Melbourne's greatest game. And Melbourne, you could say they haven't actually even really been switched on. They haven't been playing their best footy all year. You've kind of almost seen it. They could run away with big winners, and they should have ran away with this one in big fashion as well. Fortunately enough, they didn't, however, but they still were good. They played really well. They set up their zone, and that's when it's hard to beat. And they do leave teams stuck on low scores like 54. They kept the Giants to 53. So you can see some good scores they've kept oppositions to, and then they've got and if they were accurate, they could have easily got 110, 120 in this contest and won by a lot. Inaccuracy, of course, is not great, but again, it does mean that you can just get more goals in the future if you straighten up that accuracy. The Tigers, they were in this game sometimes, but the Demons, they were just a better team. They did play better than what the Tigers did, and there you go. There's the staircase of goals. And that is where the game pretty much ended, basically. You could just tell. They just piled them on, and they could have kept on doing that. And, yeah. The Demons, though, they are a very good unit. The best team in the competition. So, no wonder why they go 6-0. And that's just fantastic. They are such a great team. They've got a brilliant list. So, inaccuracy shouldn't be a problem for them again in the future. And once they fix that up, they'll be fantastic. They already are fantastic, lol, but yeah. If they really can get out and get some massive amount of goals, they'll be fantastic. Now, Hawthorn versus Sydney. Hawthorn 10-8-68 were defeated by Sydney 16-13, 109. I'll tell you, it didn't look like that at the start. The Hawks, they kicked the first 5 goals of the game. And they had a lead right up till 3/4 time. This contest, Sydney, they didn't really do anything till 3/4 time. And then the final term, they kicked 9 goals in the final term. 8 in a row to seal the deal, to take the victory away from the Hawks when they had it in a spot that was theirs to win. After getting 34 in the first term, they only managed to double that to get to 68 in the next few terms. They kicked 1 goal in the last quarter to 9. It was not great for the Hawks. After coming off of a brilliant win, they just let the Swans take that game away in the final term. They just didn't really play. So it wasn't a great game for the Hawks after their great start. They really did let themselves down, copying this loss badly, and that's not great. And the Swans, they are a fantastic team again, could have a real crack at the premiership this year. They've got a brilliant list, so again, they're going well, the Swans. So the Hawks, they copped the loss. It wasn't a great game for them, especially from the position they were in. Not sure if you could call it a choke because it was in the first term. The Swans, they did play pretty well. They were inaccurate, but again, they did fix up that inaccuracy late to go on and win the game. Now, here we go on to the final game of the round, the Anzac Day contest. Essendon 12-10, 82 were defeated by Collingwood 15-3, 93. Collingwood very inaccurate. And Collingwood looked good with Jack Ginnivan kicking his 5 goals to win the Anzac Day medal. Darcy Parish, 44 disposals. Again, either or could have won, take your pick. 115 fantasy for Zach Merritt, 6 tackles for Braden Maynard. Those are your stat leaders. It was an Anzac Day. It was a fantastic Anzac Day game to remember this one. It went down to the wire. Essendon were always in it. Collingwood did lead it for most of the game, but Essendon were always in it, and they came back in the final term to almost snare it. They were always within reach, though. It was such an even game. I feel like this was a really even contest. Both these two teams are at about the same level as well this year, I see at the moment anyway. Of course, this could change later on in the year, but the Pies, I do want to talk about them. They've been looking really good at the start of this year. The Bombers, again, they've had a hard start. This was the game they really needed to press themselves in it. They competed, which is the main thing. They didn't get smashed. They competed and they tried really hard. They just didn't get it. But in the end, they did really try. Next week against the Dogs could be interesting. The Pies, they got the Suns at the MCG. But yeah, the Pies, they were just too good in the end, walking away winners. It was very close at every single break as well, even though the Pies did lead at every single break, but it was still extremely close. They go on to win it by 11. But yeah, the Pies, they're looking pretty good this year. And the Bombers, they had some good stars return, and they were pretty good in this game as well. So there's all your round 6 action just done all there. What a fantastic round it was. We really learnt where some teams are at, and we've been seeing some consistent flows from some teams as well now. So it's really exciting. Now we're going to be hopping on to round 7, seeing what this game has in store seeing what this round has in store for us. The round 7 preview will be out as well shortly, probably tomorrow. And first of all, we have West Coast tackling Richmond at Optus Stadium. What a fantastic battle that'll be. Really important for both teams as well. Geelong taking on Freo at GMHBA. Crows taking on Giants at the Adelaide Oval. Big game for the Giants, of course. Melbourne taking on Hawthorn at the MCG. St Kilda will tackle Port at Kazali Stadium. Big game for both those two teams. Carlton, they need to bounce back against North at the Roos under lights at Marvel. The Suns and the Pies at the MCG on the Sunday. The Bulldogs play the Dons, and then probably game of the round, or at least looking at it, Sydney versus Brisbane in the SCG to finish off Sunday. You could call it under lights, maybe twilight probably is the best way to say. Exciting contest there. So, massive round we have just had. Round 7 is going to be a big round as well. You can see there Melbourne 6-0, and every team is off and away as well. So I'll just give you guys a little moments, have a little look at that ladder. 3 versus 4 though, Sydney versus Brisbane. It's going to be a great battle. But yeah, there's the ladder. That's how it's tracking at the moment. Really interesting and exciting season is ahead. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. See you guys in another video on the channel. You guys can let me know your thoughts on these games. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.